This video is for you if you've always felt different, you've always walked around and you've had, excuse me, different kind of ideas, and people judged you, so you kind of shut down. Not just like different ideas, but just different ways of thinking. You also felt things differently. You felt negative energies very intensely, so you started to block them off because it was just too much. You didn't really, then you started to, maybe beforehand you were outgoing, you were super outgoing, you felt like people were attracted to you and all that stuff, but over time you realized you were almost too sensitive. You had some kind of sensitivity, so then they told you that you have some sort of mental illness or some sort of disorder and all this stuff, and then you started to just fall down this path and you said, you know what, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe this world is, I just can't quite keep up with it. So, then you fall into all kinds of habits, or you conform. A lot of people just conform and shut that part of themselves away. They conform, I'm not saying church is a bad thing in itself, but it's easy to kind of just then give in. You give in. Okay, I'm submitting to this. I'm turning off that. It's like a logical, spiritual, logical feeling, and you know that there's something more. You just know, and nobody can really change your mind on that, and you've always known that inside. This video is for you if you can relate to anything that I'm saying at all. And it can be very difficult to that. I empathize with you. I experienced that for many years. Really just feeling like I'm in a world that nobody can relate to me at all. And like I actually, even if you go to some of these groups or communities that are, sort of out there, forward thinkers, you even feel different inside of that group. You know why? It's because you are different and you are on a different level. You're meant to actually be a leader. You're actually not meant to really follow. That's why you sort of feel unfulfilled at your job, and you feel unfulfilled in a lot of areas in life, because actually you're meant for something a lot greater. And that's nothing crazy. There's nothing bad. You're not, I just want to tell you this, you are not crazy. You are not weird. You're on a higher level, okay? It doesn't mean that other people are on a lower level per se. It's just everybody's on their own distinct path at different times, and it's not good or it's not bad. It is what it is. So accept that part about yourself, that, hey, I have something greater to accomplish on this planet, and it's totally fine if not the other people around you are not on that path yet. It's totally okay, but I know it can be frustrating because you want other people to see things the way that you see, because you see things so clearly, and you see through so much BS that this world produces in the consumerism world that we live in, all these nutty, crazy conspiracies that actually are coming true, and maybe you used to like talking about them, and people shut you down or thought you're crazy. Well, you're not looking so crazy anymore, because a lot of that stuff's coming true. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. The time though now for you to kind of come out and wake up and really step into your power is really coming up on the horizon now, I feel like. And it's getting more and more time for you to, start to tap into what it is you are supposed to be doing in this life and on this planet. And there might be some certain things that are blocking you. A lot of people have certain things right in their path that are keeping them, preventing them from tapping into their true self, into their authentic self. So that's the thing with people like us who are, spiritually aware, or you've had a spiritual experience that you can't explain, that these things trigger stuff within an individual, and it becomes very difficult to cope in a society that is, not, doesn't understand that aspect. But what I'm saying to you is that you might have something greater to achieve. And it might even be something like becoming the mayor of your city. It might even become something like, becoming the CEO of the company that you're working at. Who knows? Like there's something for you, because you see things in a different way, in a more empathetic way. The world needs more people like that now. It's time to sort of, cut that away, and a lot of us have conformed too, in a way to that, because we needed to become, we felt like pushovers a lot. We were too empathetic, and we were, trying to help people all the time. And it's like, because we felt that within us, but this world is just not really designed for that. So we kind of had to go the other direction, or, the list goes on. It just really depends on each individual. So if you're resonating with any of this right now, just please subscribe to the channel here. My name is Austin Zest. I travel. I have traveled in the past. I've lived in near the Andes in the Andes of Peru for the last 4 years, near a lot of ancient structures and temples, because I felt most comfortable here. And and so I've had a lot of experiences my whole entire life, dreams, crazy kind of UFO sort of experiences, communications. I struggle with addictions as well, which, you know, I use to cope with a lot of these things, feeling so isolated in this world, even when I was around people. So if you're at all can relate to that, you know, this is the right channel for you. And also, yeah, you know, like the isolation stuff, just you're not alone in that. I've found a way to, even though I feel very different everywhere I go. When I lived in the United States, I felt quite different, but I got a lot of attention, some of it positive, some of it negative at times. But where I live now, I'm like in a place where it's very simple-minded. The people like to eat food. They like to just, you know, go for walks. You know, they drink beer and watch football games. It's very simple, so it's kind of good for me to ground here. And you know, the family that I'm kind of married into is very grounding, and it's a very simple way. Sometimes it is frustrating though, even here, you know, and I want to communicate with people on a certain level, and I can't. But I've learned techniques and ways to actually feel positive and happy in each certain situation. That it's okay to have small talk. It's okay to have a dumb family, you know, gathering, you know, for lack of a better word, just like, you know, without having to always be talking about these deep subjects, because we need to ground. If we're super spiritual out there, we're always up here and stuff, we're in the spiritual, that can be incredibly exhausting, incredibly difficult. And then you're also putting that on your friends and family for them to rise up to your, you know, kind of situation there, which is not fair to them, you know. So what we need to do is ground all that, and then you need to learn, and there's different techniques that I practice. I have a community school that I'm creating, and, you know, yeah, if you're interested in that, comment below or look for it. But yeah, so that's kind of what I recommend. You know, you got to really ground these and do these practices to ground your life, and also communicate with people like me, like you know. So that's why I'm setting up this community, so we're gonna have weekly calls and stuff, and just have like an awesome community, so we can all speak to each other and not put that on other people. You know what I mean? And you have your safe community that's not a weird cult or a weird church type of thing. Like, this is like way different than that. And because yeah, that's the other thing. Maybe you've tried to find communities, you've been out there, and it's just weird, right? It's like, what the heck? So that's what I'm creating in this community, specifically for people who really relate and resonate with everything I was kind of explaining in this video. So it's just for you. So yeah, if you're resonating that, subscribe, like this video for this channel here. And this is like the most authentic version I've gone. I've gone a lot of different ways on this channel, and I've tried to do so many different things, but I realized I had to go back, you know, about 15, 16 years and realize what initially sparked me, you know, and kind of like my journey, and like sort of the authentic version of myself, and you know, and I kind of put so much of that away. I buried it, you know, that. So, and now I'm coming back to you know, my authentic true self, and I'm creating a community for other people who felt the same, because I used to feel like I was the only one in my town, and I kind of was really unique in where I've lived and where I've been, and that's okay. But I realize there is thousands of other people like us who really truly have this genuine feeling of uniqueness, and it's not just like, hey, I want to be unique, I want to be different, no, it's like a real something super deep in your soul, that you know that you're meant to do something much more than just something regular. And it hurts you when you don't fulfill that. So in this community, we're going to help you find that and fulfill that, and it's going to be a very incredibly grounding place for spiritually awakened or spiritually aware people who need that additional support, so that we can really together rise up and step into our true power, empowerment, authenticity. Learn also how to set boundaries with people. Is something that's so important, as kind of spiritually aware or empathetic people. We feel the energy so strong that we don't want to shake anything. Well, I can really show you how to do that in a way that's going to be very effective for you to move forward in your life, because nobody needs to be taken advantage of or talked to in a certain way. Like, we need to set up boundaries correctly in our own lives as well. So if you're interested in that, comment down below. And it was great talking to you guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.